A king shaved off half of another man's beard. Just half, not all of it. And that single, almost childish insult started a war. A war so serious, it's written in one of the oldest history books that still exists. This is the story of how a piece of hair on a man's face became one of the most dangerous things a person could touch. To understand why this mattered, you need to understand what a beard actually was, not hair. A flag. In a world without written records, without photographs, without ID cards, a man's beard told you everything in one glance. His age, his rank, his tribe, whether he was someone to respect or someone to ignore. You didn't need to ask who someone was. You just looked at his face. A king named David sent his men, peaceful messengers, to another kingdom. The ruler there, a man named Hanun, didn't trust them, so he had his soldiers grab David's men and shave off exactly half of each man's beard. Not all of it. Half. Deliberately, a calculated act of humiliation. The messengers were so ashamed they couldn't go home looking like that. They had to hide until their beards grew back. And when David found out what had been done to his men, he didn't send another letter. He sent his army. In Sparta, soldiers who fled battle were marked, half their beard shaved off. On purpose. Everyone in the city would know, just by looking at his face, exactly what he had done. There was no hiding it, no explaining it away. His own face had become a public record of his shame, and he had to walk through the city wearing it every single day. Alexander the Great ordered every single soldier under his command to shave completely before battle. His reasoning was brutal and practical. In close combat, a beard is a handle. Grab it, and you control the man's head. Remove it, and you remove that weapon from the enemy's hand. Thousands of men, all shaving the exact same morning, all for the exact same tactical reason, not vanity, survival. In Egypt, the exact opposite was true. A smooth-shaved face meant purity and status. Growing a beard was for the poor, the unwashed, and yet the pharaohs, the most powerful people on earth, still wore a beard, a fake one, strapped on. Even female pharaohs wore it, because by then the beard wasn't hair anymore. It was a costume of power, something you could put on or take off, depending on what message you wanted to send. Russia. 1698. Tsar Peter I comes back from touring Europe and decides Russian men look backward with their long beards. So he does something almost unbelievable. He puts a tax on beards. If you want to keep yours, you pay 1 kopeck if you're a peasant, up to 100 rubles a year if you're rich. And if you refuse to pay, the police are allowed to grab you in the street and shave you by force, in public, on the spot. Peter himself was known to shave his own guests' beards at parties, laughing while they sat there in shock. The Russian Orthodox Church called it blasphemy. Riots broke out. People believed a man's beard was sacred, a gift from God, and here was their own ruler tearing it off their faces for money. But Peter didn't care. He wanted Russia to look like Europe, and he was willing to shave an entire country to make it happen. A war over half a beard, a punishment carved into a soldier's face, a costume of power strapped onto a pharaoh's chin, a tax collected by force with a razor in a policeman's hand. For thousands of years, the hair on a man's face wasn't just hair. It was status, shame, war, and power, all written on one small patch of skin. Tonight, when you shave, or don't, you're making the exact same choice men have been making and dying for thousands of years. You just don't pay a tax for it. Yet, if this messed with your head a little, subscribe.